welcome to the channel. If you're new here or if you're returning to the channel, I'm glad you're here. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below, and hit the subscribe button. Today, we're looking at the happening right now scareful story of Eliza Fletcher. Eliza, who goes by Liza, is a 34-year-old teacher and mother of two who lives in Memphis, Tennessee. She has been married to Richard Richie Fletcher for 8 years. The couple met at church and their wedding was considered the wedding of the year in Memphis in 2014. Liza got her dream woodland wedding in part because she is a member of a very wealthy Memphis family. Her grandfather was Joseph Joe Orgill III, a Memphis hardware businessman. Family business generates billions in sales every year. Richie and Liza are active members in their church, and by all accounts, Liza is a very well-liked person. She loves running, and not just going out for a jog running, but long-distance elite marathon running. Liza is a Boston Marathon qualifier, while her husband is an avid long-distance bicyclist. In the early morning hours of Friday, September 2nd, 2022, Liza went out for a run, perhaps trying to beat the daytime heat and humidity, perhaps trying to get in a run before work. She went out pretty early. Surveillance cameras caught her running near the University of Memphis before 4:30 a.m. Pictures show her wearing a pink jogging top and purple running shorts. When Eliza didn't make it home by around 7:45, her husband called the police. The University of Memphis Police, as well as the City of Memphis Police, began investigating. Liza's water bottle and phone were found near a home on Central Avenue where she had been jogging. Quickly, surveillance footage was found which not only showed Liza running, but also showed that around 4:30 a.m., a dark SUV traveling westbound on Central Avenue approached her, and after a brief struggle, Liza was forced into the vehicle. Early reports said that Liza's phone was smashed, but didn't mention anything else having been located at the scene of the kidnapping except for her water bottle. Police were quickly able to determine that the SUV seen in the grainy footage was a GMC Terrain. As so often happens, speculation began to swirl and questions started to pop up around Liza's husband and what could have possibly happened to her. Was this a random kidnapping? Had the kidnapper been stalking Liza and knew her routine and her running route? Did the kidnapper know Liza was from a very wealthy family? Would a ransom note be forthcoming? Was this possibly a kidnapping for hire, or worse, a murder for hire? The same day as the kidnapping, investigators were seen searching the Fletcher home. A computer and a pair of lawn shears were removed from the home, and a white Jeep Wagoneer was towed away. Were investigators thinking that someone in the home was involved in the kidnapping, or were they merely trying to determine if Liza had been communicating with anyone who may have done her harm? Police could have towed the Jeep Wagoneer in order to look at the car's computer to see where Liza and her husband had gone in the past few days and weeks, and to see if that could lead to any clues about patterns that maybe somebody was watching, or to look into people who work at or frequent places that Liza often went. Police were being relatively quiet about the investigation, which always generates more speculation by onlookers. Social media posts by Richie showed that on their last anniversary, which was their 8th, he was very much in love with his wife. His Instagram post said, 8 years in the making with this smoking hot babe. Wouldn't want it any other way. His post the year before for their 7th anniversary hinted at previous trouble in their marriage, though. Yesterday marked 7 years married to this beauty. If you were to ask us at year 3, if we were to make it to 7, we probably would have said no. We apparently weren't given the memo that a healthy marriage is not going to come easy. Luckily, we put God and recovery first. We were both willing to believe in each other and asked for help. We are so thankful for individual counseling, couples counseling, recovery, and friends. We can honestly say that we wouldn't have it any other way. Some thought that Richie's social media posts about his wife were flattering, with him describing her as hot, while others took that kind of language as being a sign of a man overly concerned with looks and perhaps with some controlling traits. I never know what to think about things like this. Everyone is so different, so while some women would be annoyed or even offended by being called hot, others really enjoy that kind of affirmation, especially from a longtime partner. Many people also read into Richie's posts about their marital issues, but I think it's kind of crazy to think that most marriages don't go through some rough times. Most of us just don't post about it on social media. Liza's posts were mainly about time spent with her family, but there was one post in which she talked about her favorite podcasts to listen to while running. Eerily, those included true crime podcasts such as Serial, Up and Vanished, and Dr. Death. Friday evening, there were reports of a heavy police presence at Overton Park. Searches were being done for Eliza, but they were unsuccessful. At the same time, there were some social media posts claiming Richie had gotten a lawyer. So many people make a big deal out of someone hiring an attorney, but here, someone in their family happens to be the City of Memphis attorney, so it's quite possible that this person told Richie to hire an attorney. And even if no one recommended it, maybe he was just smart and hired one anyway. It doesn't mean he's hiding something, just that he wants to protect himself and his family while also helping in the investigation. The police held a press conference, and while they didn't share much new information, a reporter asked if there could be a connection to reports by the University of Memphis cross-country team of being harassed by somebody in a dark SUV. Police said that they weren't aware of any connection, but it does get the wheels turning. Was there someone driving around the University of Memphis campus looking for victims? Saturday, the day following Liza's abduction, police were unusually quiet. Turns out there was a good reason why. They were tracking down a suspect. Turns out the police had more footage of the abduction than they had originally let on. The video shows the car waiting for Liza to run by, and then the suspect gets out and rushes towards her and forces her into the passenger seat of the car. A struggle ensued, and the police now say that after the attack, the vehicle sat in a parking lot for approximately 4 minutes. Police were also able to get a partial plate from the video. Something else the police were able to get was the suspect's DNA. At the site of the abduction, there was more than just Liza's water bottle and phone. A pair of Champion brand slide shoes was also there. Those shoes had DNA on them that led police to 38-year-old Cleotha Pookie Abston. The police already had Cleotha's DNA because he had a lengthy criminal history and had kidnapped somebody else back in 2001. Back then, he kidnapped an attorney and forced him to take money out of an ATM. The man had managed to escape. Cleotha was sentenced to 24 years in prison and was, unfortunately, released in 2020. Once police had identified the suspect, they were able to track down surveillance footage showing Cleotha wearing the slides the day before the kidnapping. Additionally, they began looking into his cell phone records and found that his phone pinged at the scene of the kidnapping. I just don't know how dumb people are to keep their cell phones on. Not that go ahead, keep being dumb because then you end up getting caught. But I just can't believe at this point criminals don't turn their cell phones off or don't take them with them when they're planning on committing crimes. Once they found an address for the suspect, they were able to connect that the utilities at that home were in the name of somebody who also had a GMC Terrain registered to them. Authorities located the vehicle and managed to find Cleotha. He tried to flee but was apprehended and arrested. The apartment complex was then searched, but Eliza was not found. A report came in from a woman who had seen Cleotha at his brother's home the morning of the kidnapping. She said that he had been cleaning out his vehicle and that he was acting oddly. The brother, Mario, was interviewed, and it's reported that he was cooperative, but police also say that he was arrested. The arrest does not relate to Liza's kidnapping, however, and instead is because of drug possession and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Cleotha has been charged with especially aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. He will be arraigned on Tuesday. Despite the arrest, Liza has not been found. Her family made a statement on Saturday before Cleotha's arrest was announced.
My name is Mike Keeney, and I am the uncle of Liza Fletcher. On behalf of Liza's family, her husband Richie, her children, her mom Adele, her father Beasley, her brother Gil, and all the members of her family, we want to make a brief statement. We want to start by thanking everyone for their prayers and outpouring of support. Liza has touched the hearts of many people, and it shows. We want to thank the Memphis Police Department, Shelby County Sheriff Department, TBI, FBI, and all of the other law enforcement agencies who are working tirelessly to find Liza. The family has met with police, and we have shared with them all the information we know. More than anything, we want to see Liza returned home safely. The family has offered a reward for any information that leads to her safe return. We believe someone knows what happened and can help. If you have any information on this crime or Liza's location, call the police at 901-545-COPS or call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Thank you.
My heart goes out to Liza's family and especially to her children and her husband. This case is a great example of methodical police work, how it's not always the husband, and sadly also a great example of how the criminal justice system fails victims over and over and over again. Eliza is 5'6" with blonde hair, green eyes, and weighs approximately 135 pounds. Her family is offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to her safe return. Anyone with information should call the police at 901-545-COPS, COPS, or Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. I pray that Liza is found soon, and until next time, I pray that all of you stay safe and stay careful.